Are you starting to get to grips with AI? Hi, I'm Simon Dippenaar and I'm an attorney. It seems you can't open a newspaper these days without seeing something about ChatGPT or artificial intelligence more broadly, both positive and negative. In my first talk on the legal implications of AI in the workplace, I looked at the issues of intellectual property and privacy and data protection. Now, in this talk, I'll cover employment law and discrimination and bias. Employment laws in South Africa includes the Basic Conditions of Employment Act, the Labour Relations Act, the Employment Equity Act, and more. Ensuring compliance with all these acts when it comes to the use of AI in the workplace is extremely complex, as each act has its own requirements. Now, here are some of the factors to consider when using AI. Training opportunities need to be provided so employees can adapt to using AI in their work. An impact assessment on employee skills should be conducted to identify areas of development. Then relevant training can be designed. Employment contracts and policies and procedures need to be reviewed to address the introduction of generative AI systems. It may be necessary to update confidentiality provisions, intellectual property clauses, and acceptable use policies for the AI technology in use. The use of generative AI systems must not result in discriminatory practices or biased outcomes. AI algorithms have been shown to have potential for racial and gender profiling, other types of discrimination. This is just as relevant to the use of AI internally as it is to recruitment of new employees. If the implementation of AI systems leads to workforce restructuring or changes in job requirements, there are legal obligations an employer must observe, including fair retrenchment processes, compensation packages, and potential redeployment opportunities. In my last talk, I mentioned the privacy requirements of POPI as it applies to employees' personal information. Employees must also comply with RICA, the Regulation of Interception of Communications and Provisions of Communication-Related Information Act, if AI systems involve the monitoring of employee activities. These might include analyzing communications or tracking work progress. Employees are entitled to be aware of the extent and purpose of this monitoring. As I speak, South Africa does not have comprehensive legislation governing the use of AI, but some countries do. UK has published a government white paper on AI, and Italy banned ChatGPT on the 31st of March over concerns about data privacy and misinformation. However, what we do have in South Africa is a robust constitution and legislation that is modern and progressive in areas such as labour, gender equality, and data protection. In the absence of a specific legislative framework, any use of generative AI must not breach existing laws. It's not difficult to apply current legislation to AI. For example, personal information and privacy must be protected, whether the data is used by humans or machines. In terms of employment law, if AI replaces an employee's entire role, the employer must follow the retrenchment procedure set out in the Labour Relations Act. The other concern I want to talk to you about today is the risk of discrimination and bias in AI models. We know that AI has the potential for racial profiling and discrimination in systems used for facial recognition, particularly with darker skin tones. This has led to wrongful arrest on more than one occasion. In the workplace, AI algorithms may be used in recruitment to match personal and professional attributes to job requirements in a broad field of candidates. But if the AI is trained on historical data that includes mostly males or mostly applicants of a certain race, it will favor applicants who conform to those models. Remember, AI cannot think. It merely draws conclusions from what is most probable based on its training data. This actually happened at Amazon.com. It created software to read CVs, to reduce the time and cost involved with reviewing the thousands of applications it receives every day. Amazon trained the system on applications that led to interviews over the previous 10 years. Unfortunately, there was a massive bias towards men in the data, and the system concluded, we don't hire women. Amazon tried to rectify the bias without success and ditched the system, but it demonstrates the need for extreme care when using AI in recruitment. Now, what other problems might emerge from using AI in the workplace? ChatGPT may be used to generate internal memos or newsletters or customer-facing content such as web pages, freeing up staff for other work. AI can certainly improve productivity through more efficient use of resources. However, if the data used to train our AI systems is not representative of the population it serves, results will be biased. bias can also be present due to the values and assumptions of the developers, and developers are largely male. Main actors in AI also have a US bias. They have no way of understanding the South African context. The content that appears in a staff newsletter, company website, or customer chatbot may not resonate with and may often even offend the staff or customers it is trying to engage. Furthermore, if AI is used for forecasting or decision making, prediction models need to be validated to ensure decision making is not influenced by inadvertent unfairness towards a particular population. In my next talk, I'll look at accountability and liability, confidentiality, and consumer protection. Until then, if you're worried about how AI could affect your rights as an employee or your responsibilities as an employer, feel free to contact me on the number in the signature below. I promise a human will respond.